We haven't been in the basement much at all, and this house, because it's on a sloping grade, really afforded the builder the possibility of creating some amazing space. This family room is probably about 20 by 26 or 28. It has lots of windows, sliding doors out into the garden, and they've already built a little mantelpiece around one of these wonderful fireplaces. And of course, we've got slab floors, but we're very far along. The plastering has been completed. And of course, the mechanicals include not just the Category 5 wiring, but also this business right here. This is a port for, it's just low voltage wire, but this is a port for the built-in vacuum cleaner system. I got together with Ron Buffoli recently to understand how this all comes together. Let's watch. What's involved here? I mean, I know that you end up with something on the wall that you open up and the thing kicks on.
Well, what we're doing is putting this 2-inch Schedule 20 piping in the walls.
Schedule 20 refers to the thickness of the actual pipe. This is PVC pipe, and it's a lot thinner than what you would use in plumbing and venting.
We're putting it in the walls, and then we're going to install this. This is called the Hayden Super Valve.
Let me see that. So this is called the what?
The Hayden Super Valve.
And what does this do?
It has 110 voltage to run your electric power head, and the low voltage to turn the machine on.
The electric power head is the thing that hits the wall-to-wall carpet and beats it up.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, go ahead. I mean, you were about to mount this someplace, and this you've got pre-constructed to go into that, right?
Right. Okay, so what I'm going to do... Whoop. Yeah, can you hold that for me?
Sure. And you just mount it onto the studs with...
just some sheetrock screws.
Right.
Put it in.
How many outlets like this will be in the whole house?
There's going to be 10 outlets in this house, but this is a larger than normal installation.
I could really see having one in the garage. That would be great.
We're going to put an outlet in the garage, and then 3 upstairs, 3 downstairs, 3 in the basement, then 1 in the garage.
Then these get glued together just like you would regular plumbing pipe, right?
Right, PVC
okay.
cement.
Now, what's the power source for all of this?
The power source we're using is a twin motor system.
What does that mean?
Okay, twin motors means that the machine has 2 motors in it that are run in...
continuously at the same time?
At the same time, gives you a higher airflow, 185 CFM.
Cubic feet per minute.
Cubic feet per minute, right.
So that's a pretty powerful thing.
That is a very powerful. That'll do up to a 6,000 square foot home.
What's it cost, an average system?
An average system costs you about $1,500. On an existing house, it's probably around $17,000.
So if it's a retrofit, it's a little bit more expensive. Great, thanks, Ron.
Okay.
Now, this is also the time when the rough wiring is taking place around the house, and Henry Jordan, our electrician, is already far away with the project. And Henry, what are you pulling through here?
We're doing Cat 5 wiring today.
Okay, so Category 5 or Cat 5 has become pretty common in most building projects these days, right?
Yes, today it has, because of the amount of twisted pairs inside.
So you've got your communications capabilities here, both the phones and the computers and all that.
Yes, data.
And we are in the little den, so are we only going to have one location in here?
In this den, yes.
Okay. And then how do you, I mean, any tips on how you feed it to the rest of the house?
Well, you just take it to the, the quickest way possible to the point. And
so if you're going to have one Cat 5 box in each room, do you have one dedicated wire for each box?
Yes, we do.
Ah. So you run them from the basement to all the different spots?
Yes.
That makes it simpler. What about connecting them down below?
Connecting down below, you can patch in whatever you want to each room, individual room, or you can patch them all together and interconnect them through the house.
Okay. And what about the regular wiring? Is there going to be a chandelier or anything up here?
No, this room will have switched outlets.
Switched outlets. So that means basically that the bottom half of a couple of receptacles will be turned on by a switch in the room when you walk in, and you can have table lamps.
Yes.
Excellent. Thanks, Henry.
Thank you.
Well, one of the other interesting features of this house is the boiler in a box, and Erling Anderson is here. He was with us earlier when we installed the boiler in a box, but now you've distributed throughout the house, right?
Yes, the tubing is running from the boiler room in a box to all the various base ports in the house.
Okay, and we're in the lowest level, so here we are below grade, and the tubing is this orange-red.
Yeah, this is PIX pipe, and this is connected with a press fitting onto...
What exactly is this kind of pipe? What's it made out of?
Cross-linked polyethylene tubing.
Cross-linked polyethylene tubing.
Yes.
So that can handle water up to what temperatures?
Up to 195 degrees.
Oh, wow. And the couplings are bronze, right?
This here is all brass, and they have a ring that goes on, the press-on and holds the tubing onto the brass fitting that's soldered onto the copper.
Okay. And the wonderful thing about the system, in addition to all this high-tech stuff, is the profile is very, very low-key, very elegant. Once you put the dressing on here, and is this
Pull
wrong?
it up. No, that's right. If you pull it up from the bottom.
And then snap it into
Snaps right
place.
in, yes.
It covers it up very nicely. And then if you'll reach behind you there, Erling, I've got a sample of some of the moldings that could be used. But if you want to do a colonial trim job, you can add a molding right over this baseboard. You could even put a bed molding underneath it, and you can build up something that looks just like a regular wood baseboard, but in fact, it's the source of heat for the room. And over in the corner, Dave Duverger, our heating and plumbing contractor, is finishing up the installation of the baseboards. Now, Dave, what are those? I mean, those are just mounting clamps?
These are the brackets that hold that baseboard on.
Okay.
They're spaced for the floor. A couple of screws. That's all it is.
And then it snaps in?
This snaps right into it. I have it lined up on the edge here where I want to go. And that's all there is to it.
And then the connections in the corner, but is this a continuous loop, Erling?
It's a continuous loop. We supply it in a top line, goes to the end of the room. We make a U and return in the bottom line. That way the temperature is uniform from one end of the room to the other.
That's all there is.
Now, what does that tool do for you?
This is the crimping tool. This takes the metal ring.
All right, what are these made out of?
These are anodized copper.
Anodized copper. Great. And then the tubing just gets cut. Now, is this technically, is it radiant heat?
It's radiant, true radiant heat, not convective. So the heat travels in a straight line until it hits an object or person.
Okay.
So it makes it a lot more comfortable. It doesn't stratify and go up underneath the ceiling.
Exactly. It also doesn't put any stains on your walls, right?
No, not at all. Because we prevent it from convecting. It's right down to the carpeting that's going to be put onto this floor.
And crimp here and a crimp there, and we're all done. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.